Hello and welcome to Crypto Novos News, where we bring you the top news stories of the day in the world of crypto. Today is December 28th, 2020, and the stimulus package and the stimulus checks have been in the news all day long. And so, yes, the House did approve the $2,000 stimulus check increase. So let's dive into kind of some of the details of what happened during the day. But first, let's give a shout out to Faith Finance. Live faithfully today, live abundantly tomorrow. Remember, Faith Finance helps you manage your personal finances using biblical principles, and they can be found at faithfinance.org. Okay, but let's get back to Nancy and the House. So basically today, the House approves increasing the stimulus checks to $2,000 for Americans. And basically the bill, it was passed by a vote of 275 to 134. So obviously not everybody was in agreement with the approval, but it got the 2/3 support that it needed in the House. And so now the bill is being passed on to the Senate. Senate Minority Leader Chuck Schumer basically stated, following the strong bipartisan vote in the House, tomorrow I will move to pass the legislation in the Senate to quickly deliver Americans with $2,000 emergency checks. Every Senate Democrat is for this much needed increase in emergency financial relief, which can be approved tomorrow if no Republican blocks it. So obviously he's putting a lot of pressure on the Senate Republicans to just go ahead and approve this, so that checks can start being issued as quickly as possible. So basically, what was approved is what's called the CASH Act, and it's an acronym for Caring for Americans with Supplemental Help Act. And basically what it does is each eligible adult and child will receive what was signed into law, $600 from $600 to $2,000 each, which is a substantial increase. The CASH Act is just a simple 2-page bill is all. And then basically here in the second section, it talks about essentially the increase in terms of the verbiage from $600 to $2,000 and striking out verbiage for couples from $1,200 to $4,000. Now, along with this $2,000 check, there is a conversation about a third stimulus check for 2021. So the conversation's already started about issuing an additional check next year, sometime next year, probably within the first quarter or no later than the second quarter of the year. So if you ask the question, what does this cost in America? Here, basically, it says last summer when the checks were issued for $1,200, the IRS spent about $270 billion, sending out $160 million in checks. Well, basically, if you take the math and do that again for $2,000 times the $160 million, you're looking at over $3 billion in issuance of checks. And again, this is more debt that we are going to incur as a country. So let's quickly just take a look and see who qualifies for this increase. Here's a nice little quick chart that basically goes, here are the income limits for individual people. So single tax filer under 75,000, and you'd wind up phasing out of payment at 87,000, which is down from 99. Head of household, your limit basically is $112,500. You start to phase out at $124,500. And for a married couple earning $150,000, filing jointly, which earn $150,000, they start to phase out at $174,000. So along with this, dependent children up to age 16 will also receive payments. And what's a little bit different at this time around is the first stimulus check, children age 17 and above, if they were dependent adults, were not eligible, but at this time around they are. So there's a lot more people that are going to be getting checks than there were in the past. If you do some quick math, that's another $27 billion. So let's take a quick look at what this bill really has to offer everybody. Of course, we talked about $900 billion. We got $300 additional in weekly unemployment checks. This extends the payroll protection program at a price tag of $284 billion. It renews the eviction ban and delivers some renter assistance in the price of about $25 billion to state and local governments to help qualified renters pay household rent and utility. And included there is some funding for healthcare for COVID-19 vaccinations. So that just kind of wraps it up. We'll follow up with this on tomorrow as we look at what the Senate does. Remember, this is Crypto Novus News, where newbies become masters. Have a great night.